Hi everyone, hey, it's Sean. First things first, let's congratulate one of our subscribers, Valtoro Ware. He's been a subscriber for a while. He recently passed his firearms permit assessment and he's gonna get his firearm permit pretty soon. So good job to Valtoro Ware. Not everybody passes that PSI assessment exam. Those of you who are non-California, if we want to be an armed private security officer, not only do we have to pass the background check, the course of fire, and the classroom portion, which in total is a 2-day course, we also have to pass a psychological assessment. So this subscriber passed, and he mentioned that he watched one of our videos. He ended up getting a 9mm, and he's on his way to get a 40 caliber pretty soon. Or I think he got a 40 caliber. Next caliber he wants is a 45. The topic of today is what caliber should I carry? Guys, this is an extension of other videos that I made. I have went into deep detail on this subject matter, but we have about 1,000 new subscribers on this channel, so I want to address the topic again. Whenever I hear somebody say you should get a 9mm, or you should get a 45 or a 40, it questions me, that person's credibility. I really question that person's credibility is what I'm trying to say. There is no magic caliber that just stops a person. Almost every single handgun round, whether it be even a 45, a 40, a 9, a lot of them do a horrible job with stopping the threat when you need this person to stop. A rifle round is much different. Rifle round causes that large volume of blood loss. The person collapses a lot quicker, they go down a lot faster, just so much catastrophic damage to a person when they get hit with a rifle round. With a handgun round, a lot of times you can survive the incidents. We've seen videos where people were hit in the heart with the handgun round and managed to throw in about 4 or 5 different rounds, actually empty magazines. So handgun rounds in general are not effective. What is more effective, irrespective of the caliber, and I'll discuss a little bit more what I mean by that, is shot placement. So you can get a 45 to an arm or a shoulder area, whereas if you even got a 22 caliber and it went directly over here into this person's heart, then that heart might stop with the lowest caliber possible. Now, as for what caliber you should carry, it's going to vary. Let me tell you why. It's going to vary based on the holster. So if you want to carry a 380, you might not find a gun that's capable, a holster, you might find a holster that's a level 2, and I recommend between level 2 and level 3, that's a level 2 holster that you're able to carry exposed. You're not going to find a lot of guns that are 380s that will allow you to do that. Now, if you're going to carry an exposed firearm that's a 380, you might as well just carry a 9mm. The dimensions are very similar, but the 9mm still has that velocity, the higher velocity than the 380. So I want a gun that can shoot at least, or guns, whatever one you select, 9mm. You can do 38, 357, 40 caliber, and a 45. These are the most common calibers. I know that there's a 357 SIG, there's a 10mm, but these are the most common guns. It's not so much about caliber, it's more about shot placement. And if I can get more shots on target and I can recoil management my pistol a lot smoother with a 9mm than a 40 caliber or 45, I'm sticking with the 9. One of my law enforcement agencies where I was employed at, we had to carry, it was a Glock 21 45 caliber Gen 3. Those of you who have the Gen 3 45s, those suckers, those recoil. And when a gun recoils a lot more than others, it's going to take you longer to get that sight picture back into where you need it. Your front sight's going to go all over the place. Okay, unless you have good hold of the gun, that could be a different story. But for me, with the way my body is designed, I can manage recoil on a 9mm a lot better than a 40 or a 45, and I can get shots on target a lot faster. That second shot is bound to be a lot more accurate. Just don't go out there and listen to people that the 45 or the 40 is a magic caliber. Guys, use a caliber that works for you, that has worked with other agencies. I want to go out there and ask other agencies what law enforcement agencies, and why do I say law enforcement agencies? Well, you have law enforcement agencies like Los Angeles Police Department, Riverside Sheriff's Department. These are California-based agencies that have a full-time firearm instructor staff. They do this full-time. This is their career, is their firearm instructor, and they see what works and what doesn't. When an officer gets involved in a critical incident, and I don't want to use other terminology because my videos keep getting flagged, but I think you guys know what I'm referring to. These range masters, these firearm instructors, they tend to do some debriefs on officers that may revisit the range 2 to 3 years later or a year later. So they know what's working, what's not. You know who also a good person to ask on what calibers work is our homicide detectives. I've ran into, just because of the whole private investigator exam, and I provide study material for that, I've ran into 3 homicide investigators, detectives, in the last maybe 3 or 4 years. It's very rarely that you're going to have somebody that's assigned only to homicide, and usually when you have a homicide detective, that person is usually robbery homicide division. And then sometimes you'll get somebody that's only homicide, but these people specialize in investigating people who are deceased and what is their cause of death. So I want to ask them, okay, what calibers are working out there? Don't take my word for it. Ask them. And also coroners. Coroners, they know what calibers are working. Okay, they're the ones that are going to extract that bullet from that body. So you want to talk to them as well. I'm not the expert. Also, emergency room doctors. Well, the thing about the emergency room doctor is that person's still alive when they're in the emergency room. But obviously, the ER doctor, will see the damage that's done by a particular caliber. But the ones who have more experience than me and anyone else, homicide detectives and coroners, they're going to know what calibers are effective. Now, I know I didn't mention the make of the model, what guns you should carry. That is the topic for another discussion. I try to do that topic, but I went into 20-25 minutes. A lot of people don't want to hear 20-25 minutes of video. So today I'm just restricting the topic of discussion to caliber, okay, to caliber only. So let me hear what your thoughts are on this. What do you think is, what caliber do you carry, and is there a reason that you carry that particular caliber? I'm really interested in opening up dialogue with all of you. You guys all take care and be safe.